So, I have come to understand that there are good monster. Each monster movie or each monster genre has a handful of good movies. For zombies, there's hundreds, and throw a stick at anything from George A. Romero, it's bound to be good. Werewolves. You've got there are some bad ones. There are a lot of bad ones, but there are some really good ones. And when it hits, whoo, does it hit? I'm talking like The Wolfman, Dog Soldiers, American Werewolf in London. Bad Moon is, but still that werewolf design. Yeah. There aren't a lot of good werewolf movies, but when they get it right, they get it right. And then vampire movies. Vampire movies are in the hundreds, but they do have some credible ones. There are hundreds of credible, really good vampire movies. Frankenstein monster, he's got a few. He's got a couple. They don't make a lot of Frankenstein movies, but they do make a few ones that make you go, that's good. But there's one monster outside of all, and I'm not counting, I'm not counting all the Universal monsters. I'm just saying like the big ones, the big monster, like monsters in general, and there's one monster I've kind of noticed has never really gotten a good movie aside from two. That's really it. There's really only two movies in this for this monster that you consider good. And that's The Mummy. And the two movies are, well, also called The Mummy. That's really it, is that, the mummies don't have a lot of good anything. I've come to understand that if you want to see a good mummy movie, just put in the Boris Karloff movie, or the more accurately, the Brendan Fraser movie, and to an extent, Mummy's Revenge. So, okay, three. There's three movies. We're not going to talk about the third movie. It's not good. But okay, so we have three. I know that three is pushing it. Like, three is debatable, really. But that's the thing, is that there's this. That should tell you a lot, that like mummies are the most, like, of all the monsters, like all the monsters I just described, they're the ones who get the real shit end of the stick in any kind of movie making. They really get the shit end hard. And it's weird too, because mummies are actually pretty fucking scary. Like, there's a lot you can do with mummies. And I find it weird that we haven't gotten it right. Like, we haven't gotten it right at all. Personally, I still go back to thinking about how Clive Barker was going to do a remake of The Mummy before the Brendan Fraser one we got. While I do love the Brendan Fraser movies, at the same time, I'm like, I kind of wish we got Clive Barker's Mummy. That would have been really fucking sick. Maybe one day we'll get it, but yeah. And it's weird too, because like, there is so much with the mythology, not just Egyptian mythology, but also like just things you could do on a whole with a creature like that. I just find it weird that, like, of all the creatures, this is the one that has the hardest one to do. And don't say like effects or whatever. Really, it comes down to, hey, this thing is this creature can just be wrapped up in bandages and just make him a monster. That's really what you need to do to make just a mummy in general. But I understand that, like, you need to do a bit more. There's so many ways you could do a mummy movie too. Like, there's so many movies where you kind of see like body horror and stuff, and like the whole point of mummies is that their organs are being pulled out. Some of their organs are being pulled out of their nose, extracted. That's some body horror shit right there. And I find it weird that like no one capitalized on this other than the Fraser movie. But even then, that was PG-13. Yeah, I just wanted to do a quick video. I guess today's subject is how many random thoughts have popped into my head and I decide to make it do an actual thing. Well, here we go. But that's the thing, is that mummies come from this place that's so rich with history and mysticism that how do you not? And when you do make a movie, how do you fuck it up so bad? Perfect example: Black Pyramid. Do you guys remember that one? Oh, you don't? Yeah, you don't remember Black Pyramid? It was this garbage ass found footage movie, and I say found footage movie lightly because there are points in this movie where it forgets it's a found footage movie and just becomes a movie half the time. So it doesn't even remember that it's a found footage movie more times than not. That movie is straight ass. Like, it has a great premise of this, this lost temple, and really it's just a holding place for Anubis. And I'm like, how did you shit the bed this hard on this film? And yeah, another example, The Mummy of 2017. That thing was an abomination. Pro tip: if you if you ever wanted to find out a way not to do a shared universe and start it that way, just look no further than that movie. It's fascinating to me that the Mummy has so much potential as a creature, as a monster, and we don't do anything with it. Now, I could see it that maybe everyone who would try to do something with the Mummy just doesn't have the budget for it, which I understand. I've seen a lot of for some reason, the Mummy is kind of toxic to bigger pictures, but there's tons of independent Mummy films. Not a lot of good independent Mummy films, but still, they're there. So yeah, there's that. I'm just kind of always in a thought of, here is a creature that you can give it powers or not. You can make it this unstoppable force. Actually, I will throw my hat in the ring for making it 4 Mummy movies that are good out of the sea of bullshit. I completely forgot the Hammer, the first Hammer horror Mummy film, because I think they did 3 and the other 2 weren't good. But that first one with Christopher Lee as the Mummy, yeah, that was really good. So there you go, 4. But that's it's so weird that you can do so much with it. You can have it be this hulking, unstoppable monster, or you can do something like, I'm surprised we haven't done anything psychological with a Mummy film. I'm very surprised we have never done anything like a psychological horror piece with a Mummy film, because when you really think about it, the Mummy's curse can really work as a psychological horror piece. Like, is it just a string of coincidences, or is it an actual curse? It is kind of funny to think about how the curse of Tutankhamun had all these unfortunate events happen, and I'm surprised Hollywood never took that as oh no, you could have a movie talking about that and be like, oh no, it was like a Final Destination thing, and you could do it like that. You could do a Mummy film where the mummy's tomb is they open it up and it's hey, don't open it up, it's cursed, and then it just goes Final Destination from there, or something of that nature. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just rambling. You guys tell me in the comments below, what do you think we need another good Mummy movie? I sure do. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in Multiverse.